Okay.
So, hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Eve Colantoni. I am a certified holistic health coach and a longtime friend of Bill Paravano, the knee pain guru. We're so excited to have you guys on board today because we've got some really, really cool stuff to discuss. It was a few months back when I got introduced to this amazing thing we're going to be discussing today. And I called Bill and I said, Bill, I know your ideologies. I know that you're great at getting people out of pain and doing this naturally, allowing their bodies to heal. So I completely understand if this is something that, you might be philosophically opposed to, but I think there's something really different and really special here, but I'd love to get your opinion. So, of course, when Bill looked at it, he said, "You're absolutely right. We've got something really, really special here." So we're excited to bring this to you today. But Bill, just for a few minutes for people who haven't been familiar with your work, can you give us just a little bit of your background, how you got involved with helping people with knee pain to just bring us up to speed with where we are today and why this is so different from what we've been working with previously?
Yes. So in 1998, December of 98, I dislocated my left knee the first of four times. And my learning curve was a little flat. I chose not to go to the doctor. I wasn't a big fan of doctors. So after the fourth knee dislocation, I decided to go get my knee checked out. Uh, Dr. Ellis looked at my knee and did the Lockman's test. And for those that are familiar, anybody that has knee pain knows about the Lockman's test. Is that where they take the knee and they pull it and push it and then push on the inside and the outside of the knee while stabilizing the ankle. And that gives an indication of the intactness of the ligaments. And Dr. Ellis looked at me and said, Bill, we could do an MRI, but it'd be a waste of time. You tore your ACL. A month later, I had the surgery. This was June of 99. I had the surgery, and my main goal was to get back to judo. I've been a lifelong martial artist. I've been involved with martial arts for over 30 years now, and I wanted to get back to judo. That was my main love. And after the surgery, and I did the physical therapy, I was looking at everything the medical model was sharing with me, and they got me to where they were able to. So they resolved the mechanical issue, mechanical meaning the meniscus that was torn, the ligament that was torn. They repaired that. But what they didn't do was get me back to where I felt normal again. So after physical therapy, Dr. Ellis said, I'll cut you loose for training again. But what he didn't tell me is that I would needed to get fitted for this Don Joy knee brace. So it was $1,000 titanium knee brace, and it was this big contraption that went up my thigh and down my shin, and got fitted for that knee brace. But it really wasn't functional. It wasn't doing anything other than protecting my knee from what had been injured, or so I wouldn't injure it again while the ACL was continuing to heal. Long story short, that's what got me into what I'm doing today, was my journey to get back to martial arts, to get back to my knee feeling normal again. So that's been the, let's see, fall of 99. So I'm 25, 26 years in of studying all of the things to get me to feel normal, to get my body to feel normal.
So the surgery really, while it may have taken care of some of, like you said, the mechanical problems there, it did not get you back to a state where you felt like your knee was, functional and you felt good again. You felt like you were able to, engage in your activities that you had previously. And on top of it, you got fitted with this $1,000 brace. And what did that brace do for you?
I think I wore it maybe two or three times, but it was uncomfortable. It felt huge. It smacked my other knee when I walked. It would slide down. It would get uh, like you'd sweat in it, and then it would slide because of the moisture from the leg. It just I couldn't see it as being functional in my life.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that's what we hear from most people when they're looking at knee braces. Like they just don't, it's just not something that works for the user. It's like it's not user friendly, winds up causing more challenges than it's worth at the end of the day. And when I initially questioned you about the Guardian, I said, I know you might be philosophically opposed to this. And I mean, why have you never used another knee brace before? I mean, can you go
Well,
into the
well,
mechanics?
in all transparency, I was wearing a knee brace when I blew out my knee the last time. I had one of those neoprene knee braces that you could get at a sporting goods store, and that's the kind that really makes your knee sweat, and it gets it's very uncomfortable. It's very hot, and when I threw the ball, I was playing softball the last time I blew out my knee. Fielded the ball, threw it to first base, and that's when the last shred of ligament in my knee let go. It popped, and then I ended up on the ground. So I've had two experiences with knee braces in my life. One was when I dislocated my left knee the last time, and then after the surgery and the physical therapy in order to get back into activities. And it was there to kind of keep the guardrails on so I wouldn't injure it further. So I had those two experiences with knee braces, and they weren't favorable. So I didn't really, when you presented me with this knee brace, I was kind of like, I just don't like the technology. And when I say technology, it's a neoprene brace or a titanium brace, and it's very static in its ability to adapt to the physical body.
Right? That's why when I initially came to you, I said, I understand that you might be philosophically opposed to this, but I said, I think we've got something very different on our hands. And, more than anything, I was just looking for your opinion because I know that you're an expert in knees. And while, again, I have a background in holistic health, I felt like we had something interesting here, but it wasn't until I got your like thumbs up on it that I knew, yeah, this is a very, very different thing we're working with. So you want to talk a little bit about it and why it's so different and what it can do for all of your followers who have been looking for relief from, knee pain.
Well, for those that are familiar with my program, I have a membership site where I teach people how to create comfort for themselves, which is helps a lot of people. I've seen some amazing things happen. But what happens is there's a little bit of a neurological rewiring of the body that needs to take place. So someone needs to do this on a regular basis initially. And it's new concepts and principles that people may not be familiar with. And there's a little bit of habit forming in order to be able to feel those results by practicing the program on a regular basis, even if it's only a few minutes a day. The cool thing about this brace is that it's able to take the pressure off of the joint, which is what I was doing in my program. But now the brace is stabilizing the knee in a place of comfort that by your walking, it mimics the physical therapy of what the body would need to do, but with the knee in alignment and comfortable. So that was kind of like, oh, wow, that's really neat in and of itself. Like just that alone. But the other cool thing about the brace is that it has air bladders on either side of the knee. And when those air bladders are inflated on depending on how your knee is holding, so it's not just a standard brace that's going to fit a standard person's knee. Each time you inflate these bladders, it pushes on the knee to the degree that you feel the relief, and then it stays there. The other parts of the brace, did you want to bring up a picture of the brace? I could
Yeah,
draw
let
like
me let me do that.
a not
Actually,
an
and I want you to hold the one up in
oh
your hand.
I have it right here. They sent me
Yeah.
a
It's
sample.
not this giant big contraption. It's something that's actually super user friendly because it's not big. It's a lot smaller than most. Yeah, let me pull the slides up right now because
I want to make sure I have it. Yes, that's
okay,
like
great.
I
Let
could
me
hold it this way and you wouldn't tell the difference if it's upside down or not. But no, this is the right side up. This goes around the thigh, this goes around the shin, and then yeah, that's let's see, do we got a picture of the brace? Maybe that second slide down there.
There we go.
Yeah, so let me get the little drawing thing up here.
Yes, the 11 inches, like wow, because I've definitely seen, the knee braces that we were using at the Integrative Medical Center
Okay.
that I was partnered with for many, many years. And I just immediately noticed that it was so much more compact and not this big, bulky thing. And, the fact that it comes in at only like a little over a pound, like it, again, I just thought, wow, this is such a different piece of technology.
Yes. So it's gonna go like the kneecap's gonna be right here. Nobody judge my art skills. So this strap goes right underneath the kneecap. So that's a good way to measure that you always know that the brace is in the correct place. This is going to go over the thigh. This part goes over the thigh. This goes below the knee. And then there is, could we get a picture of the back of the brace? Is
You
there?
know what? I don't know that we have a picture of the back of it. Let's
Oh,
see.
yeah. Okay. So the cool part about the back of the brace, and I could use this. Let me undo these. So these straps right here and right here go on the calf. And the importance of this is this one right here is above the calf. This eliminates the sliding down of the brace when you're wearing it, which is huge because Donjoy knee brace, even the neoprene knee brace, they would always slide down because there was nothing supporting it on the knee. Every time you're extending and bending the leg, and the leg gets sweaty, or whatever the case is, if you're wearing it on top of clothes, it will slide down the leg. Well, these straps hold it on top of the calf. So it's kind of like makes a bottleneck for the brace to be held in place uh, right where it's supposed to be. So that was super cool. That addressed the issue as far as the sliding down that I had. And yes,
Now, where are the air bladders? Because that's the part where, and maybe the next slide is will show
yeah.
us,
Okay,
because
let
that's
me.
the part where when they put it on, it's going to immediately get them out of pain, which of course is a huge thing in and of itself. Obviously, the fact that this knee brace actually gives them physical therapy while they're wearing it. So again, it
Mhm.
provides corrective mechanisms. So 90 days into wearing it, we're seeing people come out with better outcomes. But let's just go back to getting them out of pain initially, and then we'll talk about the healing capacity.
Okay, so you have these air bladders right on the sides of the brace, and they're on the inside of the brace. What this does is it addresses there are two different conditions that could happen with the knee. One is your knock kneed, so the knees kind of fall in, and the other one is your bow legged. And what I found is most people have some degree of either knock kneed or bow legged. It I'm more knock kneed. And it's not like if you saw me walking, you wouldn't see it. But there's a slight misalignment of what's going on. And you can determine this by looking at the bottoms of your shoes to look at the wear patterns that are going on in the bottoms of the feet. So if you're knock-kneed, the wear patterns are going to be on the outside of the shoe, either in the back of the foot. If you're looking at the left knee, it's going to be in the back on the outside, middle on the outside, or it's going to be right by the toes in the front. So that's going to be knock-kneed. If you're bow-legged, what happens is the foot falls in the opposite direction. So the wear patterns are going to be on the inside of the shoe. What happens is as you adjust these bladders, uh, so there is, if everybody ever played basketball, football, soccer, something like that, and they have those little pumps that will inflate the ball. It's a very similar type of system. You get this little air bladder with the knee brace. And what happens is you can adjust the degree that you're blowing up these bladders on both sides of the knee to adjust for either being knock kneed or bow legged. And this is the coolest thing. And John Kenny, who is the one of the founders of the company, and he went into kind of the mastermind behind the brace. I did some training with him, and he was telling me about this that as you walk, what happens is it lines up the knee, which pulls the ankle back into alignment. So the foot no longer drops out or in, and then it corrects up in the hip as well.
Amazing.
That was like this was the big piece that had been missing with all the other braces that I looked at. Or anybody that would, because this is not the first time I've had a company that was like, hey, would you promote our brace on your website or something along those lines? They didn't have this kind of technology. And I was like, wow, this is actually something that a person could put on for a couple hours a day. Like literally, put it on and forget about it. Just walk around your house or go out for a few hours and it corrects the alignment of the leg.
Amazing. I mean, first and foremost, when people are coming to you, they're coming to you because they're in pain. Obviously, they want the whole corrective, experience. They want to get back to just having a normal knee. But if you're in a lot of pain, it's hard to even think about, well, now let me go and do my strengthening exercises and work on my posture and, all the things.
Mhm.
So just to get somebody out of pain initially is one thing where it's like, gosh, relief. But to know that this is not just getting them out of pain, it's not just a band-aid, it's something that's actually going to help them correct the situation. I loved the science on this. I love
Right,
the fact that they have the clinical studies to show that this brace actually is like having hours of physical therapy every day and that
right.
there's a corrective mechanism to all this. Do you want me to put on the next slide? Because I think these are ones you wanted to discuss. Huh?
Yeah, there's another element. Yeah, this talking about the here, let me undo
There you go.
those. Whoop, hold on a second here. Let me undo those circles. Okay, yeah, go ahead. My computer's trying to catch up. Oh, are
Uh,
am I back yet?
What were you going to say about the Oh yeah, we have you. You haven't left us. I thought you were trying to erase the circles, but they don't seem to be disappearing. But what were you going to say about the other part of the
Yeah.
Oh,
So
there they
that
go. They just
yes. My computer just needed to catch up. The other piece is this is going to align the knee side to side. The other piece that's really important is understanding knee flexion and knee extension. That's usually the range of motion issues that many people run into when they're walking. And the reason why they can't get range of motion is because of the pattern that's going on both in the knee, the ankle, foot, and hip and lower back. So this is addressing that as well. Um, Eve, you wanted to, I think that third slide there.
Here we go.
There is and I don't think, if you can go to the very first slide,
This one
and
here.
you can just see it here. I could show the pieces of it, but right here, it looks like a hair tie. Are you able to see that?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so it looks like a hair tie, and I have one of them right here, but they're weighted. So you can see this one is 3.5 pounds. The brace comes with a 2.5 pound and a 3.5 pound hair tie, we'll call it, that hooks on the brace. And what happens is there's this mechanism in the knee called, or in the body, called reciprocal inhibition, meaning if the hamstring is engaged, it shuts off the quad. And if the quad is engaged, it shuts off the hamstring. But when the knee's in pain, both of them kind of tense up at the same time. What this hair tie, um, when it's in place on the brace, so now you have your knee stabilized from side to side. As you're walking, you're pushing against your quad and your shin are pushing against the brace when it's extending. So this hair tie is actually pulling the knee straight. And by doing that, you're strengthening the quad when you're stepping forward. When the when you're pushing off, you're engaging your hamstring, so you're bending your leg. Because the hair tie is now being pulled and stretched, what ends up happening is now you strengthen your hamstring. So when you go to physical therapy, you're the big goal in physical therapy is to strengthen your quads and your hamstrings. But many times they're doing it in a way that causes a lot of pain in the while you're doing the physical therapy. So as you're using the bladders and engaging all of the mechanisms of the brace in the correct way, which is getting your knee out of pain, now you're walking correctly. So you're doing the physical therapy while you're walking. It's a brilliant, brilliant setup. I'm just so tickled about it.
Amazing. Hey, I just wanted to mention Richard was mentioning that he has trouble with both of his knees.
Yes.
How would you address that with this?
Well, there is the cool thing about the brace. Of course, like the ideal situation is you can get two braces and you can walk with two braces correctly. We're able to set that up and do that. But what John was telling me is the braces are, when you send in the measurements for the brace, that you indicate if it's for the left leg or the right leg. And that will generally fit the left leg or the right leg based on the angle of the shin. But the cool part about the training that I did with John Kenny, was you can get a heat gun, like a paint stripper kind of gun, and you can custom mold the brace. So if you wanted to work with one leg for a period of 2 to 3 months, which is the time frame that they did the studies to reduce the pain in the leg, you can work with it till the pain level comes down in that one leg, and then you can switch the brace, custom mold it to the other leg, and continue on.
Cool. I love the fact that it's versatile in that regard and you can use it for one, get one knee stronger, again, custom mold it to your other leg and then work from there too. Very cool. What do we
Um,
want to show next? I'm back to slide 3. I know you had
uh,
something to discuss on this.
okay.
I think we've kind of talked about some of
Yeah,
these
the
slides to
big
achieve the optimal unload.
yeah, the big thing is creating comfort in the knee while walking is taking place. So it encourages correct motor mechanics of the leg while you're walking. And by in encouraging the correct motor mechanics of the leg while walking, um, that allows for the therapy to heal much faster. Okay, Richard really wants to know how much they cost. The 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 brace is about $500. And I dislike those webinars where they're like, and we're gonna hold you on a little more before we tell you the price. But it's $500 for the brace.
495.
495.
Technically. Yes. So again, I think it's definitely not the most expensive, but it's also not one of these little cheapy things. But considering what it does and the fact that it gives you the physical therapy that you're looking for, I think that it's pretty fairly priced. Um, so again, I think we've actually discussed some of these. It really helps to facilitate that heel to toe gait. So you're walking properly. Your gait is now aligned properly, and it's giving you the biomechanics and the efficacy that you need to keep moving forward.
Um,
Anything to say on there?
yeah, I have a few things. Now this is for there's a basic brace, which is the Guardian. If you go at the top, I think they call it the sport
Mhm.
brace, the very first slide.
Yes, that's correct. It's the
Guardian
rehabilitating
Rehabilitator Technology.
sport,
And
brace.
I know some of the people I know personally here on the call, Janice, um, with if you had a knee replacement, there are specific braces for that. And depending on the range of motion in the knee that we're looking to achieve, as far as like I think they call it the goniometer, which is will measure the degree that the knee extends or bends. There are specific ones that help support the extension and the flexion of the knee that the reference point of the metal um, these metal the ones for the knee replacement, the distance between these are slightly different. But what it does is it gives more leverage to help engage the quad and the hamstring to get the extension that we're looking for. Um, okay, we got a question from Richard regarding swimming. I don't know about swimming with this on. Are you looking to swim with the brace on, or you're just talking about swimming in general? Is that going to help? No.
I think in terms of wearing it is going to provide you the comfort that you need while you're wearing it, but it also is like getting physical therapy while you're wearing it.
Right.
So when you take it off, this is what the all the science that we've looked at has been saying that once you take it off, 90 days later, there's significant improvement with the actual healing process.
Right.
So that's what's so remarkable about this. So you wouldn't swim with the brace on, but the more you wear the brace just during your normal day-to-day activities, we've seen people skiing with this on, saying, "Oh my gosh, I thought I was never going to be able to ski again." But because it's providing so much relief while you're actually wearing it, you can do, sports activities that might have been elusive before because the pain was just too intense. But the more you wear it, it's giving you the therapy to actually provide that corrective mechanism. So months down the line, again, your whole system is so much better than the healing has really been able to take place there. So
Right.
while you wouldn't necessarily swim with it on, I don't think,
Um,
um, you're going to be able to swim better in a few months after wearing it. Is
sure.
that how you
And
think?
what I'm envisioning in Richard's situation is like wearing it to go swim when you're done putting the brace back on and going back. And there's a bunch of other questions, and this is the level of granularity I get it with working with clients is swimming, what type of swimming? There's different types of swimming. side stroke, butterfly, breaststroke, all those kind of things, and those are different kicks. Does your knee hurt when you're doing those? So there's a lot of things that what we want to do, and the whole focus uh, of this brace is that you kind of can set it for a couple hours a day and forget it. This is going to help the body heal much faster. Uh, they're looking at 2 to 3 hours a day to
Did you want
wear.
to talk about anything on this slide, or do you want me to
Let's
move
see,
to?
knee brace. And this is what I was talking about regarding knee replacements, knee brace with extension assist, depending on the different types of situations. There's some people that have, like myself, had an ACL tear. So the pattern in the knee is going to be different than a person who has a meniscus tear, than a person who has a joint replacement. So they have, depending on the specific type of situation, there may be a different brace other than the standard brace to be able to order to work with that would be uh, help the knee align better.
Um, I know that a lot of people might be on their lunch break right now, so we've got a few more slides to go over to really discuss, this in depth. But if you're thinking right now that, you'd like to just talk with Bill quickly to see if this could be a good match for you, I'm going to put a link in the chat here. You can just fill out your information and Bill will give you a call just to kind of discuss your situation and see if it's a good match. But I know, Bill, that you're really committed to people, having a full recovery experience. So I know that there's something else that you wanted to offer to anybody that does go ahead and try out the Guardian Brace. You want to talk a little bit about what you're offering them as well?
Yes. So with the purchase of a Guardian brace, and what's real important is sometimes the on ramp, getting the brace properly fitted, making sure it's really working for you can be a little tricky. For instance, I had a client that I've been working with. Her name is Ildi, and she had a meniscus tear, and it was in her right knee in the back on the outside where the meniscus tear was. And she's told she's got initial stages of arthritis. It'll eventually be bone on bone and she'll need a knee replacement. And she didn't want to go down that route. So we began working with the brace, and there was we got her fitted for the brace initially, but the brace caused some pain because of the swelling she had in her knee. So I was working with John and Ildi to kind of get me up to speed on how we can adjust the brace in such a way that it got the pressure off of squeezing the knee that was creating the pain. And she's now, let's see, it was December, and she was about 3 weeks into wearing it on the knee that was bothering her. And she did this on her own. She went and just switched the brace to the other knee. We didn't custom fit it or anything else, and it was getting her other knee out of pain too. So it was kind of cool. But it was neat that she was able to, once we got it properly fitted, that she was able to use those bladders as a way to get the pressure off of where it was irritating the meniscus on the back outside of her knee.
So this
So,
is something that you offer with everybody that gets a brace,
yeah.
with instructions for how they can do it themselves. But just in case it's not quite right, you'll hop on a call with them to make sure that it is in the right spot.
Well, this is part of it would be in my program, my online coaching program, which is a group coaching program. We meet once a week on Mondays, and then we can go over any tweaks and adjustments you would need to make on the brace to make sure we fit it the way you need so it's functional and it's getting you out of pain. Because sometimes it's just a simple this thing the there one of the things for Ildi was this pad which is around the bladders, and the pad was on the inside of the knee to give the bladder a little bit more space to put the pressure on the inside of the knee. Well, all we had to do was take this pad out, and now it didn't squeeze on her knee anymore, and then she was okay. But sometimes it's just little tweaks and adjustments like that that make the biggest difference.
I love it. Now, I want to talk a little bit about your coaching program too, because I mean, it's lovely that you jump on the calls and, answer everybody's questions every Monday, but there's so much more to it. And this is a paid program that you're offering to everybody who gets a Guardian Brace for
Correct.
a month so that they have access to all of your training too. Do you want
Mhm.
to talk a little bit about your knee club program and what that includes, what they'll get for just for trying out the brace?
Sure. It's an online coaching program. I have several hundred videos in there. I can actually there's several hundred videos in there. Janice is familiar with the program. Oh, that's Betty Page. That's what I said Eve looked like before we started the call. Hold on a second here. That'll be great on the replay. Hold on a second here. So this is let me share my screen here. Okay, this is the members area of my website, and the knee club clinic is the area that we do the most work on or work in. And this part of the clinic has several hundred videos, and what we're looking at is specific parts of the knee. So as the knee brace begins to get the pressure off of what's going on in the knee, and you have this neuromuscular rewiring of what's going on in your body, there can be other areas that could become painful, meaning you could start feeling tension in your hips and lower back. You can feel stuff going maybe up into your neck and shoulders. And I have videos that I've created over the past 15 years of doing this online that we would be addressing those areas as well. So I could provide support as ongoing to help once the knee gets out of pain. What pattern was going on in your body contributing to what was going on in the knee as well? So those, as you could see, there's quite a few videos, and that's in just one section. I have six different sections in the members area in the knee club clinic. I also have other support as well. Video vault. The videos are recorded so you can watch the replay. If you can't make the call, you can send in your questions and I answer those. You can watch the replay to get my response based on your checkup or the questions that you're asking.
I
Um,
love it. I love the fact that you talked about how, yes, you might start to get your, knee out of pain, but then other things might start happening. And you've got other techniques on how to help with that. This is actually
Sure.
one of the reasons why Bill and I are such good friends. About 14 years ago, I had a car accident, and then after that, my back was in so much pain. And he happened to be visiting Florida, and I said, "Oh, come on by for dinner." And I was telling him about this back pain that I had been in, and he said, "Oh, this is easy. I can get you out of, maybe 70 to 80% of pain." And I had been walking around with like two knives in my back for like 18 months. And I remember looking at you and saying, "Please don't give me false hope. Like, I have been to so many chiropractors and I've been to so many people that have said that they were going to help. And you said, look, I'm not promising any more than 70, 80 to 80%. I think that this will help." And I said, "Okay." He said, "We need your body to remember its comfort place. It's gotten uncomfortable and it doesn't remember how to be comfortable again. So we're just going to remind it." So you worked on my back for a few minutes. I got up, I was out of pain, and that was it. I never had pain in that area again, ever. And I was so blown away. I was so shocked. And then recently, a year ago, you helped realign my hips when I went to visit you in North Carolina. And I've never had pain in the area again, too. And my friend who was driving me, again, started having pain in his shoulder. You got
mhm.
him. I was just like, you are like the pain guru. Like, so I know it's the knee pain guru, but I mean, I think you have such a profound understanding of the body and all the areas that can be affected. And I love everything that you teach everyone. It's just amazing. So I can't say enough good things about your program. And I'm so excited that you're, offering it to everybody for a month so they can check it out, utilize you every week so you can get all your questions answered. It's very generous of you. So I hope everybody takes advantage of that. I know
Thank
Kelly
you.
has a question coming in.
Kelly, did you have something? You can unmute yourself if you like.
Yeah, if you want to unmute.
I just realized I could have said to clicked on that link you provided, but it kind of sounds like this could be perfect for me. I have a 2.5 by 1 by 1.5 lesion at the bottom of my femur bone where it meets the inner side of my knee. And when I asked my physical therapist about using a brace, he thought a brace would cause an issue on the outer side of the knee due to more impact on that side. Do you disagree with that?
Tell me about the lesion. Like what
So, so I
is it
have
like
like,
like scar tissue? Is it something that's built up like a calcium
well,
deposit?
what happened was I have like a bone deficiency, they say,
Okay.
where I was lacking blood to that little area on the left side of my femur where it meets the knee. And so eventually what they think it happened when I was young. So eventually, like about in November, a piece of a bone broke off the bottom of my femur along with the cartilage. So in that
Mhm.
spot alone, I am bone on bone. I've gotten to a place where I can fully extend and bend and everything, and I'm walking, but with a slight bend in my knee. And
Okay.
physical therapy is causing me pain. It wants to hyperextend, and I get this like sharp pain due to weakness from not walking for so long. So it
Okay.
sounds to me this might be perfect for me to help me to gain strength without pain. But basically, it's like a hole, it's a lesion. And I did have surgery to have the bone removed, and he looked around. So I do have scar tissue in my knee
Okay.
from just him going around with an orthoscopic
Understood.
device.
Okay. If the pain that you're feeling is a result of bone on bone, that means there's a compression that's going on the outside. The brace is going to put pressure on the opposite side of the knee, which is going to, if it's collapsed on this side and we push on the opposite side, so this side of the knee, it's going to start opening up that space, it's not going to it will unload the pressure in that space where the lesion is or the hole is. So I think that could be, you would know pretty immediately that it's going to get the relief that you're looking for.
With that brace.
Hmm.
Okay.
Very
Okay.
cool. One thing that we didn't mention too, there's a 30-day money back guarantee. So
Yes,
as soon as you get it, you can slap it on, give it the college all, try it for a couple weeks. And if you find that it's just not the best match for you, you can send it back and get all your money back, which is awesome. As long as the brace is in good condition and you haven't,
sure.
messed up in some way. But I love the fact that you have a period to try it. And because it is something that, can give you that relief so quickly, it's something that you'd be able to tell if it's, a good match very, very soon into the process. Is that accurate, would you say, Bill?
It is, but what I want to say, and this has been one of my frustrations at trying to help people online, is that many times they try something, and if they don't have that immediate, like the light switch goes on and the pain goes away immediately, then they want to give up. And what I'm saying is that there's always a solution. And yes, the 30-day money back guarantee is there. And yes, we would want to honor that. However, what I'm suggesting is that if there's a way for your body to get into pain, there's also a way for your body to get out of pain. And sometimes when we're in pain, we're in a mental and emotional state that limits the options. And me having so many years of experience from being in my own situation with my knee and then not being connected to your pain, I'm able to look at it objectively and go, okay, Kelly, we got to try this. If it doesn't get the pressure off of it when you inflate on the inside of the knee, maybe we try on the outside. Maybe we pull the bladder off and slide it a centimeter forward because it could be such a slight adjustment that can put the pressure on the opposite side of the knee in such a way that it creates the space that we're looking for. And this is where I see so many people that are in pain that are they're looking for the quick fix. And I get it, I understand. I'm just suggesting and offering that the distance between being in pain and out of pain is sometimes millimeters. They're tiny nerves in the knee that are being squeezed, causing the discomfort, causing the pain, causing the stiffness. And it could be the difference between a full pump. Where's the thing? A full pump and a half a pump. And it's like it's so silly like that. But when we're in this place of pain, we don't see those options. So this is where being in Knee Club and asking those questions and going, here's the wall I'm running into. That's how I can step in and help and adjust, offering options that you would need to go implement and then come back with the results. Yeah, it worked a little bit, but I'm still experiencing this. Cool. If it still has knee pain, maybe you got to add a couple of those pain pattern interrupt modules for the hip and the lower back that'll help with what's going on with the knee. So I just wanted to add that in there as well.
I hope that's helpful. Cool. Do we
Oh,
have any other questions or did something else you want to add?
yeah. Richard, do we get all your questions answered about the swimming?
Feel free to unmute if you'd like to. We're
Oh, Eve, there was one thing. I'm not actually selling the brace. I think this is an important part. The braces are supplied by a company called Guardian Knee Brace. So when the brace would be purchased straight through that company, and in order to access Knee Club in that space, I would just need to be sent like your receipt from Guardian that you purchased the brace, and then I can get you in a Knee Club. We could begin working. So that was just a little tweak that we need to make sure we're clear on. That it's like
definitely.
I'm not actually selling the brace on my website. I'm promoting the brace and using it as an adjunct to how I work with clients.
Yeah, definitely. But, if you want to just take a quick minute to discuss with Bill if this is right for you, just drop your information. We put the link into the chat there. You can fill out your information. Bill will give you a call just to discuss your situation a little bit further, make sure that it works, it's a good idea. And then he'll give you some instruction on how to take your measurements, and
Mhm.
then we'll put you in touch with the Guardian Brace company to get it shipped off to you. Once you receive it, I know, Bill, you're offering everybody they could just log in and they'll have 1 month access to the Knee Club. What do you normally charge for a month of access to that, which includes your weekly coaching calls where they can hop on and ask you questions every week, whether it's related to the brace or the whole knee healing process, the whole kit and caboodle? What does that normally run for a month?
Normally it's $149 per month. And by getting a Guardian brace, you get the first month free. And we're discounting it at $50 per month. So it would be 99 a month going forward.
I love all the support that you give to everybody. I mean, it's so much better than just an hour of physical therapy, in my opinion, because you cover so much more. It's so much more in depth, and I think your understanding of the body and how to help it heal
Mhm.
is just remarkable. So I'm so glad that you're, offering your guidance as well. The knee brace is great. We love it. But again, I think the whole big picture is so important here. So yeah, I think
Thank you,
if you
Kelly.
have questions, just fill out your information in the link there, and Bill will reach out to you and set up a quick call to make sure it's a good match.
Yeah, I think it's all automated. I think what happens is when they click that link, it takes them to a page where they can sign up in my online calendar. And then at the time, we'll just meet on a call similar to this, either on phone or by Zoom,
Mhm.
where we could jump on a call and I can answer any questions.
Yeah, the
And
link,
if it,
the link asks for all their information and just, has them put in a few more details about
sure.
what they're working on. So and then Bill
Yeah.
will come up with
Tree
these.
trimming around here, huh?
Does anybody?
I cleaned up
Oh, Tom is
I got it.
unmuted.
I got it.
Well, if there's no other questions, we want to
Yeah.
thank everybody for jumping on with us today. And
Yeah. Is that, I just want to make sure everybody's good. Aaron, Tom, Janice, and Richard. If anybody has any further questions, you can unmute and absolutely ask them. And if not, that's you can use the link in the chat that Eve posted. Oh, wait.
Bill, are you sending a follow-up email to this with all the details and the,
Yes.
yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
we'll
we'll be
be
sending that. Richard's saying I still don't understand. What part don't you understand?
I don't understand how I'm walking now. I went to therapy in a pool for 6 months, and I've strengthened my knees. And how is this? You know, I'm not a candidate for knee replacement surgery, and
Mhm.
how is this going to help me? In the, I don't how understand it. I don't understand how it's going to help me.
Well,
I'm bow-legged.
what do you have going on with your knee other than being bow-legged?
They're degenerated. I'm an old man. I walked 1,000,000 miles.
Okay. So the one of the contributing factors to the degeneration of the knee is the bow-leggedness. And there is a concept called tensegrity structure. It's the interconnected series of pulleys and levers that make up the human body. Think of it like a bicycle wheel. You have a rim, you have a hub, and you have spokes. And what happens is when there isn't a balance of tension in the spokes, it makes the knee, the wheel come out of alignment. This The wheel then is not able to support the full amount of weight it could if the balance of tension was even. What this brace is doing is bringing the bicycle wheel back into balance for you. In your case with the knees, it's going to take the bow-leggedness. So most likely your knees are wearing on the inside first. That
The X-rays don't look good. There's not much space between them,
Mhm.
and I looked at my shoes, and then they don't wear. They're wearing the opposite that you're saying.
They're
So I don't understand. It's not making sense to me.
okay. So they're
The
wearing on
outside of my shoes are wearing, not the insides.
right. So there's an imbalance going on in the knee that is causing a different wear pattern in your shoes. Like everybody's wear patterns are different. I'm using generalities in terms of describing how what's going on in my knees, the wear pattern would be on the outside of my feet. The brace is going to be able to bring your knee into alignment, which is going to take the pressure and offload the joint to create the space so there won't be the wearing or there won't be the discomfort or achiness or stiffness or whatever you're feeling in your knee.
But you're telling me that I need to buy two braces and wear them for 4 to 6 hours a day.
I'm not sure where you got all that, but what I'm proposing is you have the option to buy one brace, unload the pressure in one knee, and begin to get relief in that knee. You can wear it 2 to 3 hours a day. I suppose you could have got 4 to 6 hours a day by adding two braces times two, but that's not the case.
yeah, I
So
think
then
today.
if I had one brace, I could fix one knee and then use that same brace for the other knee.
You got it.
And and then eventually, how much time are we talking about? 6 months, 9 months, a year?
They have the studies on these braces that in 2 to 3 months, it's going to get the knee that it's on, if you're wearing it 2 to 3 hours a day, out of pain.
and it'll never come back.
Well, I mean, Richard, we have to do maintenance on everything in our lives. Our relationships, our houses, our cars, our bodies is no different. So you're going swimming to exercise, to do maintenance on your body. You're going to have to do maintenance on your knees as well. That's a fact of life.
But like when I walk, I put my right leg down. I have to wait till my knee stabilizes because it goes crunch, crunch, crunch. And
Okay.
then I put my left leg down and it goes criss, crunch, crunch. So it's a strange thing.
Sure.
I have to make sure my knee is stable when I put it down before I take another step.
Sure.
It's a little difficult, but I don't have much discomfort. I just get a cracking in my knees.
Okay.
So I don't really. So this brace is going to last me a lifetime, and every 3 months I'm going to have to reuse it because the pain is going to come back.
Well, you said there was no pain. It just does criss, crush, crunch, crunch.
Right, I don't have any pain.
Okay. So then the pain wouldn't come back, right? Based on what you just said.
Well, if but due to
Richard,
the
Richard,
X-rays that
Richard,
they're
Richard, one thing that needs to happen is you got to get clear on exactly what you're feeling in your body and what exactly you're dealing with. Because part of it is there's a jumping around of what's going on in your head. And this what happens when people are in pain or there's something going on in their physical body. That their idea of what's happening and what actually is happening is not lined up. And by creating awareness, by creating comfort, when you get relief in your physical body, your nervous system switches neurological states, allowing you to be more present, to be more aware, to understand what's going on in your body. And when that happens, then the ability of a brace or a program like mine is going to be valuable for you. It's kind of like, unless we acknowledge that state of disconnect and accept that that is our baseline of what we're dealing with, then there's not a whole lot the brace or anyone else is going to be able to do for you.
well, tell me your education.
My education, I've been doing this for the past 26 years. I
And how did you
dislocated
learn it?
I dislocated my left knee 4 times. I had reconstructive surgery on the ligament in my left knee. I went through everything the medical model had to offer. Everything that I've studied is not going to be, you're not going to find it at a university. This was my own self-study and experimentation over the past 2.5 decades. You're not going to be able to go to a physical therapist and hear what I have to say. You're not going to go to a doctor, and a doctor's not going to understand. I have doctors and physical therapists that are clients, and they still don't understand what I'm doing. The idea is, if you create comfort in the physical body, you create relief, the nervous system will reorganize around that comfort and realign itself with that comfort. But you have to be aware enough to know the difference, the contrast between what you're feeling and something different that doesn't feel like anything. It feels like you're not doing anything, because that's a quieting of the nervous system that's taking place. It's a transition that's taking place in the nervous system. So anything that I would offer as far as my education or accolades or where I've studied or how far I've traveled around the world and the different teachers that I studied with are not going to come on your register. It's not going to register for you. So this is one of those things that you have to feel inside. You have to go, oh, this makes a lot of sense. It doesn't matter if I got a D minus in medical school.
Yeah, but I'm a registered nurse and I'm also a chiropractor. And what you're saying is not adding up to what I've experienced.
I understand that because chiropractors don't study indirect techniques and registered nurses don't understand what I'm talking about. I mean, I get it. It's fine. This is completely opposite of the conventional medical model that is crumbling before our very eyes.
Well, that's your opinion.
So, well, cool. Do we have any more questions?
No, I'm going to think about it.
Okay,
Thank you. Have a nice day.
great. Thanks, everybody. Eve, we're all good?
Yeah, if anybody else has any questions, I think the best thing to do is to just use the link that I provided before. You can fill out your information and Bill will give you a call to discuss your situation a little bit more. And Janice, I just offered the Guardian Brace website there in that as well. So yeah, feel free to take a look. And like I said, Bill's happy to talk with you to see if it's a good match. And we can take it from there. So thanks everybody for jumping on. We appreciate it. And Bill, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Eve. Thanks, everybody. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye now.